What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop, the last Game Scoop of 2015.
No!
I am your host, David Hatfield. Joining me this week, Justin Davis,
Scoop.
Sam Claiborne,
Hi, everybody.
Jared Petty.
Thrilled to be here.
These three were they had a little boozy morning at the IGN White Elephant gift exchange.
I had some virgin eggnog. I'm feeling a little
You kept
crazy
it
right
virgin.
now.
Okay, that's
I had very not virgin eggnog.
We're all feeling in the holiday spirit as we finish out the work here at IGN, the work year here at IGN. But we wanted to give you one more Game Scoop before we go. For a little break, this week, Justin, I don't know if you knew this, but IGN put up its Game of the Year award nominees.
Yes, I'm aware.
You were aware, okay.
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure.
78 categories, Damon.
Really, lots of really good games in there.
Yeah, it actually was a great year this year. Not like last year. That year was a dog.
No, this is one of my favorite years in recent memory for games.
Yeah, I agree.
Which is funny.
Why are you making that face?
Because I just looked at a bunch of really bad game reviews from the year.
Well, I was just going to say, so on the other end of the spectrum,
Right.
I think it's time to take a look at the worst games of 2015. I have compiled a list. This is the list.
Yeah. And we should say, in good faith, we try to review games that we think you'll care about. So
Yes.
by nature of these games are bad and almost always a surprise for us when they're bad.
Well, that's what I was gonna ask. Is this our reviews?
These are our IGN's reviews.
So these,
Okay.
so these are
Lowest
games we
score
consider
games in IGN.
noteworthy enough
The real
to
turkeys.
spend time reviewing, and then discovered,
Okay.
and there
Because
is. Oh, so go ahead.
well, because old IGN, 5, 6, 7 years ago,
Review every
IGN just
game.
reviewed everything. Every video game that came out.
Right
that
before the iPhone came out, that was possible.
yes.
That's what it was.
No,
That's the
yeah,
cut.
And
Like-
so now, these aren't necessarily literally the worst video games to come out, but they're notable, surprising in their badness, and we reviewed them and gave them
Yeah,
scores.
and
How
we
many-
rarely pull bad games into our review docket now because that used to be a thing. Like that game looks so stupid. Let's review it just for fun.
Makes
but
sense.
it takes a lot of effort to review a game, and we want to give it a fair shake. We don't just want to make fun of games.
No, you
We
gotta
want
take it
to
seriously.
we have to give. So we're like, where are we going to aim our criticism powers at? We might as well pick games that people are probably going to play.
Damon, how many of them are elf bowling? I'm just curious.
No Elf Bowling this
Oh,
year.
it's been
Years
Quite
since
an
there's been an
upset.
elf bowling.
I don't think so. I don't
Yes.
No Elf
Those
Bowling
are always
this
on
year.
DS.
So I've compiled 15 games. It worked out really nicely. 15 games for 2015. The 15.
Below 5?
No, we start out with 5. We start with 5 and we go down from there.
Oh, okay.
So starting from 5, it just
So the
worked out
best of-
nicely.
That's what you're saying, though. Is
That's the
everything's
cutoff.
below 5 out of 10.
No, there are some 5s. It's starting at 5.
So this is the
5.0.
best of the worst, getting to the worst
The
of the
worst
worst.
of the worst.
What's the best worst game, David?
The best worst game this year was Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Poor Nintendo. I mean,
So- Yeah, go ahead.
someone, I think on like NeoGaf or Reddit or somewhere pulled the stats on, for all the criticism of Nintendo and their business decisions, their games have always been excellent. And they've always had one of the absolute highest Metacritic averages.
Yeah.
And then in this year,
Not this year.
Animal Crossing is not the only one, although
No.
it might be the most disappointing of the bunch.
It's not the only one on
This
this
is
list.
more of a Mario Party than an Animal Crossing.
Well, it felt like an excuse to sell amiibos.
They don't need an excuse for that. Am I right?
But Nintendo has had
buy 'em.
missteps before. We tend to forget about them because they're so few and far between. There is Captain Rainbow. There's things like Stunt Race FX. They haven't always made
Most
wonderful
people would
games.
say Mario Parties are all missteps, but I
No,
love
that's
them.
not true.
I love them.
So at
They've
least-
gotten bad.
At least half of them are good.
Yeah, but there's
Half
been
of the
there's
10?
been 10
There were
now.
10, right?
Yeah, so since 5 they've been really bad.
Board
Board game.
That's really good. Who wrote that?
Well, Callie
Board
did the
game.
reviews.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder if she wrote that.
I'm sure she did.
That's a really good
But
headline.
yeah, this game was like a dumbed
Fruit
down
Path.
Mario Party with no mini games.
It's like
It
Mario-
has no mini games.
It's like Mario Party with no mini games. That's the worst
it's
thing.
Candyland.
It's like playing Parcheesi.
Yeah, all
Candyland.
right.
Yeah, or Candyland. And I would rather play Candyland because it has festive candy-colored like cards.
Candyland is so bad.
It is bad, but
Shoots and Ladders
Shoots and Ladders,
Shoots and Ladders is worse.
Shoots and Ladders might be worse than Candyland. At least Candyland makes me think about how I could be eating a gumdrop.
Yeah.
IGN called Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival charming but ultimately a snooze fest. 5.0 out of 10.
Is that an okay? That score or is 6 okay?
No, six
Six
is
is-
okay.
So
Meh?
five is meh.
I think so. The next
No,
game
5 is
also,
mediocre.
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 also with a 5.0 and also from Nintendo is Chibi Robo Ziplash.
Yeah.
This hurts me deep. I actually really, really love the original Chibi Robo, and Nintendo gave an interview where like they keep trying to make this franchise work, even though it doesn't sell that great. This one, I thought it was really smart to go to 2D.
Yeah.
I thought it was really smart to make it, kind of a little bit more Metroidvania-esque, but it just didn't come together.
It's just left-right platforming too. You know what?
I thought it was non-linear.
There's a little bit of exploration. If they give you a grappling hook, they have to take away your jump. That is the rules of platform.
Bionic Commando established that. That's how it needs to be.
Yes.
And that's what, when I saw this, I thought, Nintendo's making a Bionic Commando game? This is going to be amazing.
TV Commando.
TV Commando.
And it's too bad
exactly.
it's such an adorable character. The art's really just cute, and they just
Well, I like
didn't do anything with it.
miniaturization too. I like when you're a small character in a big world.
Yeah.
That's always fun. But,
Gives you room to move.
This game is just really bland. I played it a lot at E3, and it's just dull.
Deeply disappointing to me, because that probably means, I'd be super happy to be wrong, but it probably means Chibi Robo's just done.
No, it'll never go away.
10 years from now, the
there's a
Chibi
new
reboot you
next
needed.
launch game. All right, and the next 5.0 on our list is J-Star's Victory Versus Plus for the PlayStation Vita.
Oh, that old chestnut.
That steaming turd, yes.
Who did Vince review this? Do you know?
Vince reviewed this game, our resident fighting game reviewer.
This looks great.
Yeah.
Vince Ingenito says, despite a great cast of characters, J-Star's Victory Versus Plus fails to leverage their charm on or off the battlefield.
It had like 60 anime characters, right?
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
it's one of those.
it mixes together like Naruto and
One Piece.
and like that's
They
such a
look
shame.
little
Like,
off model though.
Well, you've had like those kind
Well, it
of
moves into
Shonen Jump
3D.
mix-up to get games before, but very rarely is the quality any good on these. And
so I saw him playing this on console, and do you know, is this specifically Vita?
This is Vita.
Because I wonder if the console version was like slightly better than the
Must have
Vita
been,
version.
Must have been.
It's too bad.
And the fourth game to receive 5.0 this year from IGN is White Knight. Are we familiar with this one? This
I
is
did
for
not play this.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Well, I remember White Knight Chronicles, the
No,
JRPG.
This is just called White Knight in IGHT, not KNIG.
Oh,
It's this game,
what is this?
right? 5.0 from IGN. We say the distinctive visuals bring plenty of atmosphere, but also some significant and frustrating problems.
So the unfinished Swan that doesn't work.
Don't know
Okay.
offhand. Yeah.
Or what was the black and white Wii game?
Mad World.
Mad World.
Yeah.
Platinum Games.
I tried liking Mad World, but I didn't.
No.
Wasn't there a black and white survival game from Ubisoft, post-apocalyptic downloadable game?
I don't think I ever played this.
Could
I
be.
know this game. Justin, this sounds rad. But
So it looks like an adventure game?
yeah.
Yeah.
It looks groovy, but if you can't see what's going on, it's hard to play video games.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Very true.
All right, getting into the fours. 4.9.
Four on the IGN scale is bad, right?
You tell me.
No. You tell
4.9.
me.
Based on this game.
Is Attack on Titan: Humanity in Chains for
Yeah.
the 3DS.
Oh goodness.
now, why
gracious.
is humanity in chains when the Titans just eat you? I don't understand that.
They're
kind of being held-
it's metaphorical chains.
Yeah.
the chains of teeth and the intestines.
Yeah.
IGN's Miranda Sanchez says interesting mechanics are bogged down by dull missions and a jumbled campaign.
Miranda had a tough year because she had to review 2 Attack on Titan movies in this game. Wow, this looks really bad.
Yeah.
The Titans are like, they're just naked dummies. Those
what
are
they are on the
supposed to be
show,
like
too.
these kind of giant, scary things with like scary mouths, but in this
Yeah.
they're just undetailed.
Oh, that's creepy.
That's a frightening mouth there. Yeah.
And on 3DS too, that makes this especially rough.
It really does look like just beating up a giant wooden puppet. No, I mean Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it's like marionette.
Attack on Titan's fine as an anime, but most of the spin-off properties have not worked out so well.
Almost everything other than the show itself
Yeah.
has not been great. This takes me back to the days of like just terrible licensed movie games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those kind of
really
went
miss
away.
those.
Yeah. you have
do.
nostalgia for those bad
Yeah,
games.
like when that's a really good point. Like, you know, it used to be every single thing. If Jurassic World came out, there would be a Jurassic World game on every system.
bunch of garbage
Now
games.
it's only on iPhone.
And then some poor sap at IGN, and obviously a bunch of poor, kids for
you're-
Christmas would have to
every
like
version.
review the Nintendo DS version of like
Yep.
Jurassic Park 3, and it's like, whoa.
But every now and
got
then,
a Lego game.
one of those weird iterative versions
Yeah,
that showed
that's
up
like-
on DS would actually be the better version.
Astro Boy, Omega Man.
Yeah, those things
Yeah, the
happen.
DS ones were generally good. Or
Yeah.
like, what if there was a Force Awakens Wayans action game out this year.
Oh yeah, I
Like,
was.
they always extrapolate from the movie, and it's really weird because it's made before the movie's out because it has so much, and it's always crummy.
It's funny you bring that up. I was just playing that crappy Phantom Menace game
Yeah,
that
I
came out
remember, yeah.
when Phantom Menace came out. I just got that out again and fooled with it, and
Like it's an action platformer.
it's a top-downy kind of thing. Actually,
Okay.
yeah, that one. You're running around as Obi-Wan Kenobi, killing battle droids and bouncing their blaster bolts back at them.
What is Adam Driver's name in Force Awakens?
Kylo Ren?
Yeah, if you could play a Force Awakens action game where you fought a Kylo Ren scorpion monster
Yeah,
at the end
yeah.
of it, it would be pretty good.
Sold.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
pretty good.
Sharklo Ren.
Also got a 4.9 this
Shark
year.
Ren.
RBI Baseball 15.
Yeah, that broke my heart.
Well, RBI was actually my favorite NES baseball game.
Me too,
And now when I
because
look
I
back,
like
like
the
this
little
looks really
chibi,
simplistic.
the little chibi characters.
RBI Baseball, born as Family Stadium Japan, still the template for Japan's baseball games to this day.
Really?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's what they set their baseball games against. That permeated their culture in a way very few other Famicom games did. And
So your friend tries to steal a base while you're swinging the bat. That's like the entire game.
well, you still see nods to it even now. But this craptastic, half-hearted remake was just
Yeah.
it made me.
But it had
hurt my soul.
licensed characters.
It hurt my
right?
soul.
Or
Very
licensed,
just-
baseball players' names in it.
But at least, I mean, if you're a big baseball fan, at least there is a good franchise out there for you to spend some money on each year. You can get MLB.
MLB.
Yeah.
Hey, do they do the thing where you can get an NES cartridge with RBI Baseball with new players' names
With
on
new
it?
players' names on
'Cause
it?
they do that for Tecmo Bowl. Have
I
you
don't
seen
know,
that?
but yeah, they do
You
it
can
every
get,
year
like
'cause-
Tecmo Bowl 2015.
Which has all 32. They added
teams,
4
which should be
teams
impossible.
and upgraded all the rosters every year. I have last
plays in
year's.
an NES.
But the problem with RBI Baseball is it only has 10 teams because it's based on the Japanese league, even though
Oh.
it used American players.
Darn it.
So I guess you
This
could do it.
yeah.
I don't know if anybody does it. Somebody tell us, please. I'd love to know.
All right, with a 4.8, F1 2015.
Man, sports games.
So F1 is made by Codemasters,
Still-
which
okay.
is
So
amazing
they're still around?
because Codemasters made Game Genie.
Yeah.
And produced
Yeah.
by Galoob.
Right.
They've been around forever. They also did a bunch of knockoff NES games like Dizzy and all these like cartridges and like gold cartridges that weren't Zelda if you find them in thrift stores now. But yeah, like they're still around making games. And every time I get like a press release about F1, I'm like, Codemasters?
Were Codemasters
Yeah,
the ones that had the
it's a bad
switches in the
driving
back, Sam, so that
Yeah,
you could
they
try to
had little
fool the chip
toggles.
inside the
Yeah.
NES? Yeah.
IGN says the racer falls far behind the pack this year due to a lack of expected features.
I'm going to assume Luke Riley wrote it.
I'm not sure.
It's tough. It's tough to review an F1 game. It's also tough to review a rugby game.
F1 was another.
We'll talk about later.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will talk about that
That's
later.
what we
But
call
first-
foreshadowing in the biz.
Yes.
First with a 4.8 is Mario Tennis Ultra Smash.
Oh, poor
Another
Nintendo.
Right?
What a
Are you
Nintendo
starting to see a pattern here? There's a disturbing amount of Nintendo games on our worst
Dude,
games
this game,
list.
the worst thing about this is, first of all, your character gets so big that you can't see what you're doing, which is
Yeah.
really funny. But the worst thing is that when you play your friend in this game, it doesn't split screen you. You play tennis backwards from across the court. It is so difficult.
Yeah.
yeah.
Marty reviewed this for us, and he sits right across from me, and just seeing him like just flabbergasted, where he's like, he genuinely felt. The big thing about this game is that it just doesn't have. All you do is play tennis. Like, there's no modes, there's no challenges, there's no like tournament to run yourself through or any sort of single player. Like, compare that to Mario Golf on the 3DS.
Yeah,
that had
oh my
so much like fun extra bonus.
That was like the Chrono
hit-
Trigger of sports
Yeah,
games.
like hit the
Yeah.
thing through the rings. Well, like, but Nintendo sports games have always been, really
Exactly.
full featured
Nintendo
like that.
they make
Not
great
tennis.
sports games. They've
And
got-
and tennis is really like a franchise like Virtua Tennis that's so great at try to knock over these bowling pins with a tennis ball, try to try to light up an entire wall by hitting a grid, and like there's so much opportunity there for cool arcadey sports, and for Nintendo to just release a $60 game that almost has bafflingly few features and functions, and then what is there doesn't even play like that great. Like, man,
They just did this on 3DS. There was a tennis game on 3DS like 2 years ago that had no features. It was just plain tennis.
Just
I
nobody
played a lot
noticed?
of it. I feel so guilty.
like, it's
If you're gonna play a Mario Tennis game, get the Virtual Boy.
it can still be fun. Like,
there you
Sit
go.
down.
I feel like that's more forgivable
Take
on a
a break every
platform
15
on a
minutes.
platform like 3DS. It's like, okay, I'm going to pop in and play a game of tennis, but like as a
Yeah.
full $60
Yeah.
console release, or it might have released at 50. But either way, I mean, it's just not.
All right.
It's not what you want.
What's next?
Our next worst game is The Witcher Battle Arena.
a MOBA for Witchers.
oh
Yeah.
my.
Mobile MOBA.
I think it's pronounced Mober.
MOBA.
MOBA. Mitch Dyer says The Witcher Battle Arena is a competent mobile MOBA with a long list of massive, unforgivable problems.
I was just reading this review. This game just erased his progress.
Oh, that's fun.
It erased his, what was
Like
it,
after
6
6 hours, yeah.
It just erased everything he did. He
Jeez.
lost it all. When that happens to a reviewer, they generally like knock it down a few pegs in the score category.
But I mean, even so, like a bug like that, while unfortunate, the game could still be great. You
Yeah.
know, and it's
Yeah.
just
And then-
it's just some crappy bug.
There was another bug that was this game that's why we're gonna start noticing a pattern here for really low scores with
Yeah.
bugs, because Nintendo is not gonna have bugs in their games.
Right.
This game is buggy. And another thing it did was there was this thing that would happen where it would just stop registering the kills you had, and if you didn't notice that, you would just play forever. And if you did notice it, you just had to restart your iPad.
Yeah, I mean,
Your iPad.
I mean, the frustrating thing about this, there's been lots and lots of companies trying to get MOBAs to work on mobile, and it's one of those things where, like, until you play it for yourself, you wouldn't believe it can work. But there's games like Vainglory, and there's another one. I wish I could name drop it because I liked it a lot. There's a couple MOBAs on mobile that actually are really good, and for Witcher to come out and be so disappointing is that's a big bummer.
Yeah. Next up is Godzilla on PS4.
Oh,
Damon, you played this one, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So we gave it 4.5 for its tedious gameplay and lackluster visuals, and yeah, it is a total joke.
Godzilla tearing into that
It is
cylinder.
a total joke to put this game on PS4. It was released on PS3 in Japan.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Oh, so there's
It was
an
a
excuse.
PS3 game, yeah.
Well, I forgive everything then.
no, it's still just walking in a straight line with
With
he
two
barely,
moves.
he
Yeah, that's
barely
what David
steers.
said. Yeah.
It's just
Is this not the one that was the fighter?
No,
that was a Super
it is
Nintendo
a-
game.
it
it's
is a
sort
fighter.
of like steering
The airplane?
a ramming ship, like a trireme
Yeah.
from the ancient times, and
Look at
trying
how
to
slow
turn
he
the
is.
thing. He
It's
just
like, yeah, he's
And
really
he can't
slow.
walk through buildings. They just
No,
stop him.
no.
Oh, there it is. This is what I remember seeing.
Like,
Yeah.
Eventually, one other monster will like show up, and then you guys can fight. But you only have like 2 moves each.
That's
Yeah.
Space Godzilla?
No, that was.
Look at how tiny Godzilla
That
is.
was that's Destroya.
No, this game would have been inexcusable on the Atari
Mechagodzilla.
2600. I just
No, if this were on the 2600, I'd be like, this game looks
My mind
amazing.
exploded.
I would let it go.
it's not the visuals, but I mean it's just awful. Simply
See,
awful
I don't think
game.
I don't think playing as Godzilla is the way to go in a Godzilla game.
Oh, you like
He's too slow, too big. I would rather play like the Defense Force or like Sam's
Shadow of the
idea,
Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus style game.
Where you're
Like a
climbing
SWAT team.
Godzilla?
Yeah, you have a band of people to try and take kaiju down.
So maybe we could take that crappy Attack on Titan game and this crappy
Yeah.
Godzilla game, put them together, and we got a really great video game.
Yeah.
Maybe.
No.
No.
If we added the scores, it would still be about a 6.
Sam, you said it was a hard year for Miranda. Yeah, she also had to
Yeah.
review this game, Funk of Titans.
Funk of Titans? Is that
Funk
a Titan?
of Titans.
Did they when they were naming their game, was it a typo? And then they're like,
I don't know.
let's
It's
leave it.
apparently like a endless runner for Xbox One, Wii U, PC. She gave it a 4.0.
Yeah, the theme is funk music.
Yeah.
Well, all types of music. There's pop
but
and rock music.
Miranda says
like
it's
that.
missing its groove.
Nicely done, Miranda. There we are.
Yeah, it's an endless runner, which I guess is not really the standard endless runner that I would think of. It just means you can't stop.
I would
But
like to
it's
know
just,
what-
it's just very boring. She said one of the things in this is like there's like an achievement system, and it has thrilling achievements like press jump 75 times.
There we go.
Like it's not even that great a number. It's just like
Yeah.
like you probably do that in your first play.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
I would like to know the thought process as to why we decided to review this game though.
I don't know where that came from.
It was a Wii U game.
Well, yeah,
Right?
and Xbox One.
No,
and
this.
PC.
it was
I remember
Xbox
being on
and PC.
Xbox. Yeah.
It is also on Wii U.
Is it on Wii U? Okay.
Well, you know, it is on Wii U. Speaking of, Devil's Third
Devil's Turd.
Oh man.
just came out over here in the States.
So Vince reviewed a couple of these
Limited
games we
to-
talked about here.
420 copies released in North America at GameStop.
Yeah.
So his year was like he played Metal Gear,
Witcher,
it
Evolve.
did this, then Witcher.
Yeah.
Like that was like, or no, it was Witcher, this, then Metal Gear. Like his ordering, he had to sandwich this turd sandwich. It was so bad.
I remember
Devil's
standing over
turd,
his
you
shoulder
might say.
and watching him in a sequence where he could like leap up walls, flip off of things, but was stymied by a bench about this high
Yeah.
that was keeping him from a horde of enemies who were destroying him, and he could not cross the bench.
Yeah, I saw him get
Yeah.
stuck and had to reset this game
That
too.
sounds about
this
right.
this game, little known fact, starts in Guantanamo Bay.
No kidding.
Oh, good. That's very political.
So many good things have started there. I mean,
I mean, people accuse Nintendo of sending this game out to die, you know, not
Yeah.
promoting it at all, but it's like
Yeah.
they knew what they were doing. That's
I mean,
like,
I don't know.
It's gonna be rare one day though. Collectors, take note.
yeah, that's actually
it
super
already
cheap.
is rare, right?
What score did we give it?
Vince gave this a 3.5.
We're in the point now where a game a game like, something like Animal Crossing is not very fun, but at least it's solid. But now we're in the period where it's like a combination of it's buggy and bad.
Yeah.
It's like once you have like show-stopping bugs that just prevent you from even making progress.
It's just egregious.
I just can't believe that's the 4th Nintendo game on this list.
Yeah, that's a weird
Well, Nintendo
bad-
didn't develop
They
that.
published
No, but
this
it was
one.
like, and a Wii U
That was an
exclusive.
Itagaki game. Isn't that more surprising than it being a
Yeah.
Nintendo game? He made Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, man.
That's strange and sad.
Well, speaking of games that have a long legacy that returned this year, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5.
Yeah. I can't believe it
Also,
was this low in this list.
3.5.
When I first saw this,
So wonderful
I
video
didn't
review.
think it was real. I saw a video of this, and I thought
Well,
it was a joke.
So first we heard it was happening,
Yeah.
and then when we saw it, I was like, really?
I remember.
This is what this looks like?
I remember that moment in the office, and it's like, look, like you have to give every game a fair chance. Like, hope that they make improvements
Yeah.
from the time you see it to the time it comes out. But we knew, man. Like, we knew from the very first footage we saw, it looked slow.
Yeah.
And
Yes. He hasn't got to the glitches yet, but they're about to start.
the footage we saw, I remember, was also mysteriously like none of the clips were longer than like 3 seconds long, and I'm like, does this game not go that long without something just terrible and glitchy happening?
Yeah,
I
there's-
think its biggest crime is just it's just bad controls. It's slow. It's ugly.
It's just, it's an...
Yeah, remember they changed the art style like
Yep.
a month before release?
Yep. Yeah. So
Do you
disappointing.
think Tony Hawk just ever holds the box for this and stares at it kind of sadly and puts it down and
No,
walks
'cause
away?
I
he
think
has
Tony
a-
Hawk leads an incredible, fantastic, fabulous life.
I think they made him a personal version of this game, which is really good.
Okay, that's
I also think
So you can afford it.
this is the one. This Tony Hawk 5 is the one game on that list that just deeply, deeply disappoints me. Like I so want Tony Hawk to be good again, and it feels like it shouldn't be that hard to send the game back to its roots. And wasn't it also $60?
It was a retail game, yeah. But maybe it was like 50,
don't know
but...
what-
Well, but I mean, like when I saw it, I'm like, oh, like a $15 or $20 downloadable Tony Hawk.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, they're trying to go all out on
No,
it.
when somebody tries to do something, I felt the same way about. I was like, finally, a PS4 Godzilla game. Man, maybe this will be great. And what about you, Sam? What was really personally disappointing for you?
That Amiibo Party game.
Yeah. Okay, I wonder.
Guys, there are only 2 games left.
I mean, I love
my.
Animal Crossing and Mario Party. It should have been amazing.
With a 3.0. Have you even heard of this game? Raven's Cry?
Pirates.
Pirate game called
I
Raven's
hadn't heard
Cry.
of it until I was looking at the lowest review scores of the year. But yeah, Brandon reviewed it.
Looks
and
fun.
And it probably broke him. And none of us noticed. And I feel
I
really
think it was
bad
one of
about
like
that
the
now.
first games that he reviewed for us this year.
I think Brandon was broken like the first week he had him here, and we made him do Bloodborne.
Not Bloodborne.
He'd been here longer
was
than that.
Bloodborne,
He'd been here a while, but
No, we had him do Bloodborne.
Yeah, he did Bloodborne.
Because he looked like someone had sucked like the fluids from his body
Yeah.
by the end.
Brandon says Raven's Cry would be a bad pirate game even if it weren't in such a buggy, unfinished state.
Yep, again.
yeah,
Bugs.
like this combination of not fun to play, bad, and very buggy is just absolutely soul sucking.
It does, however, provide a public service and reminding us that we can go right now and play Sid Meier's Pirates.
We can go play
Or
Assassin's Creed 4.
Black Flag.
Or Sid Meier's Pirates.
Still waiting on Pirates Creed, Ubisoft.
Yeah,
make
that
it
game doesn't
happen.
exist.
Raven's Cry is a PC game, in case anyone out there hadn't heard of it.
A PC of poop.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, that's good. I like it. And finally, the worst reviewed game on IGN this year with a 1.5.
Ooh.
And I think it was on our list last year, Rugby World Cup 2015. It was released on everything. And I think it was like this was like one of the worst games.
See,
on our
when I
segment
read this,
last
it
year.
had a lot of technical rugby terms like, this game is terrible. I don't understand rugby that
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, but you don't need to understand rugby just by looking
But
at
yeah,
what
he
you're
said
seeing right
it was
now.
glitches and bugs, right? It was like these things that like would repeatedly happen where things would just start ignoring the ball.
Okay, like when you look
So
at
funny.
when you look at FIFA,
Yes.
it's almost photorealistic now at this
Right.
point. Like
Yeah.
it can be mistaken for a real
Yeah.
soccer game.
Yeah.
I'm not a big rugby fan, but in no universe would I ever mistake this for a real rugby game.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
if sports have small audiences like F1 and rugby, we can clearly see that people get the licenses for cheap.
Yeah.
And beyond
they try to make a game.
beyond the visuals, I feel like if somebody created a rugby game that was just a bunch of Atari blocks running around and the game still worked and played well, we'd give it a much better score than a 1.5. That just seems like everything went wrong with this.
Yeah. There you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the 15 worst games of 2015 on IGN. Now, you're right, there are other bad games that IGN didn't even bother with.
And I want to play them.
Looking at Metacritic, one of them, heartbreaking, I'm sure. Qbert rebooted.
Yeah.
goodness.
How did I miss
gracious.
this? That exists.
You didn't play
They
it?
rebooted Qbert.
They
Okay.
rebooted Qbert.
Qbert
Yeah.
Rebooted is the sequel to Qbert 3 for the Super Famicom that nobody needed.
Sequel to Qbert 3.
No,
So Qbert 4.
I'm being silly. But yeah, it is. It was just.
Does it have gritty, realistic graphics?
No, it doesn't. It kind of looks like Qbert. It's
Is
just sort
Qbert
of-
just holding a gun now?
It should have worked, but it's just kind of soulless. That's the problem with
Should
it.
have worked
It's
just
sort
kind
of
of soulless.
vapid.
I
it's
have some bad news for you. Qbert has never had a soul.
Oh, now Qbert in the first one, he cursed. The game had
Yeah.
that was just dripping with character. Like that's part of what I mean. It's brilliant design.
You know,
it was very
he was
colorful,
like
but
a 50s rock and roll
Like a
kid
greaser guy.
in the
oh
greaser
yeah,
in the cartoon.
In the cartoon, absolutely. He was a greaser guy. Frogger was a journalist, and Batman had the cool hat. And yeah,
Donkey Kong was kidnapped
Donkey Kong, was he kidnapped?
by Mario.
Oh, in the cartoons?
I think so.
Okay.
Wasn't it? Well, in the Donkey Kong Jr. cartoon.
Well, there's that one
There's
where
a Donkey Kong Jr. cartoon.
doesn't like Simon Belmont rip off Donkey Kong's like
Yeah,
toe
this
toenail.
is a shared
toenail,
traumatic
yeah.
experience from Jared and I's childhood. Is on Captain M, the Game Master. They go to Donkey Kong World, and I think Simon Belmont rips off Donkey Kong's toenail.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
But then to make up for that, we have a shared happy memory where we both got R2D2 cakes for our 4th birthday.
We did for our 4th birthdays, both of us.
The sheet cake that was shaped like R2D2
That's
with the
great.
icing that drawn on it.
On Captain N, wasn't Simon Belmont like a super vain?
He was very vain. Yeah, he's like,
Pennsylvania.
yeah, exactly. Oh, that's it.
Because
Actually,
people
never
that were
put that together.
completely unfamiliar
And-
with the games made those cartoons.
And I think I'm stealing this from Bob Mackey, but Kid Icarus talks like Kid Icarus is just like Icarus,
It's
Icarus,
fake Latin.
and Mega Man talks like Baby Herman from
And-
Roger Rabbit.
And he's green.
Yeah, and it's King Hippo's green.
Mega
Or
Man-
kind of
No,
blue.
Mega Man is all-
Mega Man
he's
is
in his
sort of
green
green.
shade,
Yeah,
though.
you're right. He's in his green shade. You're right. And then King Hippo, for some reason,
blue.
his skin is not
You know why
King
that
Hippo
was?
colored. He's like kind of a.
Because he has boobs.
Is that
You
why
have
they
to
did it?
make-
Because
yeah,
he does
you have
have.
to make them blue. Because otherwise, it just looks like he's just a naked guy with big boobs.
That show.
All right, Qbert Rebooted has a 44 on Metacritic, but with a 21 on Metacritic is Afro Samurai 2.
Didn't play that.
It brought back Afro Samurai. And finally, the lowest rated game on Metacritic this year, the 19,
Another
is
license.
Alone in the Dark Illumination. They made a new Alone in the Dark.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Goodness
Wow.
gracious.
Yeah.
Sad.
Illuminating.
It's sad when games are bad. I want everything to be good. I want Alone in the Dark to be good. I want Qbert to be good. I certainly want Tony
okay.
Hawk to be good.
There are plenty.
I want every good game to be good except Deadly Premonition. I want it to stay bad because it's fun.
Okay.
There are plenty good games released this year. And speaking of, Brian from Jaffrey, New Hampshire, writes in saying, "Scoop, hey everyone, love the show. Lately, I feel like the odd man out in a debate on whether an incomplete game qualifies as a Game of the Year contender. I'm speaking, of course, of Tales from the Borderlands. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love this game and its potential influence on the Borderlands mythos. However, given that the first episode of the game released in November of last year, feels like cheating to qualify it as a Game of the Year for this year when it's mostly attributed to a 4-month delay between episodes 1 and 2. Are we on board with what he's saying here?
Our policy is for episodic games. Video games are changing, and our Game of the Year awards need to change with them, and we'll probably make more changes in 2016.
Yeah.
Our policy for episodic games is they're eligible in the year that the final episode comes out.
Yeah, it's the completeness of them, right?
Because that's when it's a game. Like, I
And
don't.
it might be released as that, right?
Well,
It's
and
like a full package.
other people might feel differently, and maybe it's just splitting hairs. But I don't consider Tales from the Borderlands 5 games. I consider it one game released in 5 parts, and you can experience that one game only in 2015.
Yeah, so you have to choose whether it's the start date or the end date, and it's safer for us to choose the end date in case the game never gets completed.
I agree with that.
Well,
I mean,
and because the quality can rise or fall. Like,
we've got to offer that assessment at some point, and when it's finished, you know everything that's there.
Brian-
I'm easy with that one.
Brian continues.
Oh boy.
When this allowance given to Borderlands is applied to other Telltale releases, it begs the question of whether or not this is entirely fair to say DICE or Ubisoft, who had to make considerable cutbacks in their big budget releases to meet deadlines, when Tales from the Borderlands or Telltale Games can just leisurely stagger content over an 11-month period across 2 different years and be awarded for it.
well, they're not awarded in both years. They're still only
That's
awarded.
Telltale,
They're only
get away with it.
they're only awarded in 1 year.
Yeah.
And if DICE or Ubisoft, if they want to release Assassin's Creed one level at a time, like, feel free to give that a shot. I don't think it would work, but I mean, Telltale's figured out. Like, they figured it out. They cracked that code, and they have a development workflow that allows them to trickle these games out in a way that other developers haven't.
Dice is also just welcome to give Star Wars to Telltale so I can have a Telltale Star Wars game. That's fine too.
Yeah, remember when before Game of Thrones was announced and there were rumors, or maybe there was like a pre-announcement that Telltale was going to announce their big licensed, like some giant brand, and a lot of people thought and kind of hoped it might be Star Wars before it was revealed to be Game of Thrones.
Well, there's never been a real awesome, like, you remember Lucasfilm did LucasArts did all those terrific adventure games, point-and-click adventure games, but never a Star Wars one.
They got Indiana Jones eventually.
Right, they got Indiana Jones. They actually made 2 Indiana Jones games. One of them is absolutely fantastic.
But I'd rather have a LucasArts Star Wars game than a Telltale.
So would I. Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
There was a fan project based on the Mos Eisley Cantina that got fairly far along and then got squashed, I think.
I mean, we in reviewing games, I remember when Telltale was first starting out, we kind of had to figure out at IGN, how do we want to tackle this? Like, do we review them all separately? And ultimately, we are in service of the audience, and we are giving them a buying recommendation. So we have to weigh in immediately, say, look, this episode's worth your $5 or $6, or it isn't, and then continue that with episode 2, 3, 4. And then after that, we have a little bit more leisure and time to sort of think about how we think about the whole product as a whole and where it fits into Game of the Year.
So next year, Minecraft eligible for Game of the Year.
Story mode.
It'll be eligible. As of now, is unlikely to be nominated.
I like story mode.
It's getting better. It was not so great. Episode 2 is not good.
All right, we are closing out 2015, but I'd like to give you a little preview of what is on the horizon in 2016.
Future scoop.
In the world of video games, we're going to do a tech demo of some upcoming video game hardware that I think is going to be available in 2016. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Not really.
No. Yeah.
You guys ever heard of this device, the SubPack?
SubPac. It's Tupac's brother.
Nope, the SubPack.
Is this that thing you wrap around your chest?
You don't wrap it around your chest.
Okay.
You sit on it. Although
Is
there
this
is
20 questions?
a backpack. No. This is a deal that was kickstarted as a musician's tool, actually, and now it's starting to roll out. So, voila! What I'm sitting on here is the SubPack.
Okay.
And the way this was originally envisioned is that it's going to basically let you feel the bass in music reverberate throughout your entire body.
I already feel the bass reverberate through my
now
entire body.
you're going to literally feel the bass.
I'm scared like a lance is going to come through your
And
chest.
its original purpose was that so like bedroom producers like myself, you can get a very good sense of the bass response in your music without shattering your windows and waking up the neighbors.
How many bedrooms have you produced?
Many bedrooms.
There's a thing at the Exploratorium, which is a science museum kind of exhibit here in San Francisco, where you bite on a piece of metal and you can hear music playing
That's pretty cool.
because it vibrates through your skull.
Does that just mean there's kids biting on that thing all
You
day
put a
long?
straw over it.
So
You get a new straw and you put it
it's
over it.
useful in music production, but then it turns out it just feels really, really good to feel that bass rattle your body. So this is the version, the SubPack, I think it's S2, that is shipping soon in the new year. And then there's a backpack, a wearable backpack version that you can walk around with, store stuff in. And I guarantee you, all the cool kids in high school are going to want
And then
to.
you say, hey man, what do you got in that backpack? And you're like, the bass.
The bass.
But if you wear it on the subway, please use your headphones.
Yes, well, I mean, that's the whole point. It's supposed to be silent.
Okay.
And then the third iteration that they're going to be exploring next year is for video games. As you can see, this is a Fallout branded SubPack.
I didn't notice that.
And so they're working with video game developers to start incorporating it into video games, so you can actually feel the explosions as you explore the wasteland and that sort of thing. And we have this crazy prize package of SubPack and the Pip-Boy edition of Fallout 4 and headphones and mouse that we're giving away on the show. And I think we'll give it away over the next few episodes. We have like 3 or 4 to give away. And the way you win is if I pick your game for 20 questions, you win a SubPack prize pack.
Oh, that's great. It's like a double whammy. But a good whammy.
Which one of you would like to feel the bass?
I would love to.
I feel like
Jared, please step up to the SubPack throne.
All right.
And I will
Crossing the set here.
do a little demonstration, and then we'll sort of like
Are you gonna put on Fallout?
imagine if you would want to like play Fallout this way.
Look at how happy he is.
I fear they're going to be launched like from the chair across the room,
Your
comically.
face just goes through the table.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I'm placing the
Jared Petty was never heard from again.
headphones.
R.I.P.
All right, here we go. Ready?
My enormous head.
Okay, you ready?
there. I am ready.
There's a little
Now we're
control
all gonna
box.
sneak out of the studio.
There's a little control box here on the
Now
side.
that Jared has the headphones on.
I've queued up a very bass-heavy dubstep track
Is it the Kung Fu
there.
music?
by Snails.
Is that with a Z?
Actually, yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Hold on here. So I'm going to turn the.
my.
I'm going to turn the intensity. You can control the intensity. I'm going to turn it all the way down right now.
All the way down.
Yeah. And then, hold on here.
Oh, Jared, you're the best tester.
I demand more intensity.
Okay. Let me get it back to a good.
Oh, guys.
Okay.
Oh, no.
So what we're going to do is I'm going to play the song, and as we build up to the drop, I'm going to increase the intensity, and then let me know how the bass feels. Okay, you ready?
All right.
I can
Oh, I
hear
can
it.
hear it. Can the viewers hear it?
Oh. Oh my.
How is it?
It's kind of like playing Rez, like but on my butt.
Jared, you have to speak up.
What's that?
You have to speak up.
I'm gonna pull it up here. No, it feels like my tailbone's got like small animals crawling up and down it. It's really. I like it. I can get into this. Absolutely.
I like it.
I
Jared
like
said-
it. Yeah, it's
IGN. So
there's some trance vibration right there.
you can feel the bass.
I can feel the bass. Can I feel it a little more?
Yeah? You
Wow,
want me to turn up the
so-
intensity
yeah,
here?
he's an addict.
Turn it up. All the intensity. Everything we got.
So it can get a little, actually, too intense, I think. Let me see where you are.
Maybe
in the
this
song.
is.
All right, this is for the second drop. I'm increasing the intensity.
There we go.
Maybe-
Here we go.
Oh, there it was. All right.
So maybe
Oh
this
yeah, this is great.
Can I try putting it on my head?
This is exactly like living in an apartment upstairs when somebody downstairs has a really loud bass. That's what it feels like. I like it. Yeah.
I like the idea that Jared just can't ever go
Yeah.
back. This is it.
8.4 IGN right here.
844, great.
Yeah.
We're not giving it away. Jared's gonna have to keep it.
Oh, okay.
All right,
Is it on my butt?
So now, can you imagine its applications for video games?
Yeah, totally. I was just like throw a grenade and then and my butt
Yeah.
shakes. Yeah, totally. I'm good at that.
I think
They put rumble packs in pinball machines now.
Yeah.
And you really feel it. It's crazy. So when like something happens in animation, the whole thing's
Now, I like force feedback in games, and actually, you mentioned pinball. In a racing game, this would be rad because you feel like you were in like, yeah, it'd be totally cool.
Let me read out-
anybody,
that
should I
was a
stand up
wonderful
now? I'm in the way?
experiment.
Let me read out everything that we're going to give away in this prize pack. The Fallout 4 Vault-Tec Sub-Pack Seatback System, Fallout 4 Pip-Boy Edition, a Pip-Boy bobblehead, Vault-Tec headphones and mouse, Fallout 4 messenger bag, Fallout 4 mouse pad,
Jeez.
and a Vault-Tec hoodie.
Oh, wow.
All these are going to be given away to our 20 questions winners over the next few episodes. So,
Maybe just scratch out that hoodie and I'll keep that.
okay.
Damon, can I take these off now?
Yep,
Okay.
you're all done.
Thanks.
He liked it.
I did. I liked it.
Yeah.
It was
Anyway, this is Sub-Pack. The backpack version is shipping now. This seat back version is shipping in the early next year. So stay tuned for our 20 questions segment to find out who wins our first Sub-Pack prize pack. All right, it's time for our final round of Video Game 20 questions of the year. This week's suggestion comes from Jeremy in Colorado.
all right.
That also
Go easy
means-
on us, Jeremy.
That also means Jeremy is the winner of our Sub-Pack prize pack.
Oh yeah.
Whoa!
Wait, did
details.
he get all the SNES games?
No,
was
that's
PS.
a different thing, which you will hear about in a little bit, because we're going to be shooting these out of order. Whoa. Anyway, this is I'm really excited about Jeremy's suggestion. Everyone knows how this works. My friends here have 20 yes or no questions to guess Jeremy's mystery game, starting now.
Did this game come out before January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Same question, 1990.
Yes.
Is this a arcade game?
Yes.
Nailed it, Jared. All right, it's Cubert.
Yes.
No, we've already had Cubert.
Did this?
Did he?
Yeah.
Was I on when that happened?
I don't remember.
Did Nintendo make this game?
Yes.
It's a Nintendo game before 1990.
The original Mario Bros.
It's an arcade
That'd be
game.
cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's either that, Donkey Kong 3,
Punch
Donkey
Out.
Kong Jr., Punch Out, Super Punch Out, Arm Wrestling, or Mini, or Radar Scope.
Radar Scope,
or a
or-
couple other
yeah.
weird Japanese ones, which I don't think anybody would ask us.
Right. so-
That was probably less than 16 games. We can just. No. Let's narrow it down. Let's keep going.
That's great. Do you play a human in this game?
You do.
Okay, play a human. Are primates featured in this game?
I don't believe so, no.
Okay.
Are you a plumber?
Nope.
Okay.
No, it could have been Mario Bros.
That's right.
Okay.
Is this a sports game?
No.
Okay, it's not a sports game. You're not Mario.
All right, we got to get a little bit more serious about
Does this game take place in space?
No.
this. Okay, so we eliminated Donkey Kong and we eliminated all sports games and Mario Bros.
And Radar Scope.
and Radar Scope.
And you said it was. Did you ask if it was made by Nintendo?
I said it was a Nintendo game.
It's a Nintendo arcade game. Oh wait, it could be one of the.
hey.
It could be one of the the gun games.
I have a decent one. No, but
there's a lot of play
and you
choices.
don't play as a human, so it's not Popeye.
Right. No, you play as a
Oh
human.
yeah, it could be.
I thought you said we play.
Popeye's
We
human.
play,
Yeah,
we
you're
play as a human.
Plays a
Yeah,
human.
so yeah,
Oh.
Popeye.
So it could be
Yeah.
Popeye. It could be Punch Out.
No, but it's not a sports game. It's probably Popeye.
Punch Out.
do you
is sports,
eat
right.
spinach?
No.
Okay.
That's 10. You guys are burning through these.
Wow.
You're halfway there.
all right.
we're
All right.
confident.
We got a little overconfident.
Yeah,
Let's pump the brakes.
So Jared asked me if it was an arcade game. I said yes, but that doesn't mean it's like exclusively an arcade game.
Oh my
No,
gosh,
but-
is it a play choice game? Oh, it could be on a play choice.
What does that mean?
That would mean it would be on the Play Choice 10 machine, which means it would be an NES game or.
Was this game also on the NES?
Yes.
But now I assumed it was. Like that's why I was thinking about Mario Bros. And Donkey Kong and stuff.
Right, but
Elements,
Play
Punch
Choice
Out.
actually took like similar
Well,
versions.
but that's
of
different
that.
than the NES.
Yeah.
Wait, arcade and NES. Well, was this a play choice game? Is that why you're saying it's in the arcade?
I cannot
See, that's
answer
not-
that question, but
so it's just an arcade
It
game.
was found in arcades.
It was found
Arcade
in
and
arcades.
NES. Let's not overthink it. Let's stay on track.
Not sports. Play.
Stay on target.
Stay on
Stay on
target.
target.
Stay on target. Somebody's probably screaming at us again.
And you meant that it was published by Nintendo.
Yes.
It's not Red Racer.
No, it would be one of the black box games. Most of those are sports. Is there anything else in the
It's
black
not going to be
boxes?
anything really weird and obscure.
Yeah, that's
It
what
never
I mean.
is.
One of the really early
I would
ones.
never pick something that you guys wouldn't.
Right.
You should though. That'd be fun for us.
It would be amazing.
What appeared in arcades?
Balloon fight or that didn't.
Let's see. Balloon Fight wasn't in arcades. Punch Out's a sports game. Excite Byte's a sports game.
Oh, except the Versus Goonies. So Goonies and Versus, all the Versus games. Those
Oh, that's true. Goonies was. Oh,
Castlevania?
Goonies would be great because that doesn't have monkeys, but you play as a human.
Castlevania too.
Castlevania's
Oh
fun.
no, sorry, that was on. Yeah, that was Konami.
So,
Goonies doesn't count either.
human
Those are
protagonists.
Maybe
we should ask about
But
genre?
it's not a sports game.
Should we ask about genre?
Do you?
not a sports
Do you? Yeah, but you already asked if you use a gun.
No, I didn't
You
ask
didn't
that.
ask that.
Do you use a gun?
No.
You son of a-
I'm just saying. I'm giving you information. You did not ask
It
that.
could have been Wild Gunman as seen in Back to the
Right.
Future.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
there were a couple. Yeah, Hogan's
There's
Alley.
not
had
a
arcade
Hogan's Alley.
version and things like that. Wow, I feel very foolish.
I know that Nintendo arcade area.
Is it based on a licensed property?
No.
Okay, so it's not Goonies or
Yeah, they never got any license. Well, yeah, that's a good point. But is the series still around today?
No.
Also, Goonies was technically a Konami.
We were doing so good, guys, and then 10 questions later.
This is great. I love it.
Was this game ever available in the VS system?
In the what system?
VS system.
Versus, he says.
I don't know. I don't know.
God.
Probably, but I'm gonna give you a freebie on that one. No, I'm not gonna count that one. But probably.
Okay. Why? I feel very addled here.
As always, it's not going to be something super weird. Whatever
know.
you're thinking of is
No,
probably.
I
Human, not in space.
It was
I'm
on
regretting the
NES,
Christmas party right
Human,
now.
Not in space.
not a
I mean,
sports
there's
game.
just Super Mario Brothers.
it's
We
true. We
already
haven't
asked
brought
that.
that up.
You're not a plumber.
You're not
Yeah,
a
you're not
plumber
a
in
plumber.
this, so
No,
it's
you're
not Mario.
You don't use a gun.
There's no primates.
They didn't do any of the
Oh,
beat 'em
wait a
ups,
minute.
did
Wait a
they?
minute. What, Donkey Kong 3, he's climbing down the
Oh, Donkey Kong Jr.
thing. No, it's
Stanley.
primates. We asked, there's no primates. There's no primates.
There are no
So it can't be
primates.
Junior.
Pretty sure.
It's not based on, it's not Popeye and it's not.
I thought it was
Goonies.
Popeye for sure.
Should we just ask about genres like platform?
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good
Is it
idea.
a platformer?
No, not really.
Was
No.
Wrecking Crew ever in arcade?
No.
I don't think so. No.
I feel like the
And we
arcade
don't-
thing's
I wish I
tripping
knew
me
if
up
we're
too
in
much.
game or on Play Choice or not. That would help a lot.
We're at 15.
I know.
Oh, guys.
Could it be a racing game?
Oh, guys.
Nintendo do any arcade racing games?
I mean, just think about NES games. I mean, did
Right.
they make any NES games that were racing games?
That's what I can think of.
I don't think of. I mean, I
I mean, there was
picture
F1.
everything.
They made F1, I think.
There's also
but
there's golf and baseball and stuff, but it's not a sports.
those are
game.
sports games. Why? What are we having such a hard time with this? And people again, this one's when people are screaming.
No one's screaming.
Arcade. It's in the arcade. It's on just an arcade and NES game,
Oh, this is hurting my
and published by
brain.
Nintendo.
Yeah.
It's not Punch Out.
Wow.
All right,
Goodness
gotta bring it
gracious,
home.
we're a little stumped here.
And it's not in space.
It's not in space, so it's yeah.
No monkeys.
No monkeys.
Is it a single screen game?
No.
Okay, so it does scroll. Goodness gracious. what
They
is
didn't
this?
they didn't do any scrolling shooters like any of the Life Force style
Not
games.
until the Game Boy.
Yeah.
There's a cool aeroplane one that they did, but
Yeah, but it wouldn't be
think of
that.
it.
I'm gonna pull it up on my phone just so I can show you guys when you
Oh
lose.
my goodness.
when we get it wrong,
I can't believe this. I'm so embarrassed. Panic. Okay, And the
series-
franchise, we said
he
the
said
franchise is dead,
not
right?
around,
The
yeah.
series is dead. I don't think there was ever an arcade balloon fight.
Excite Bike wouldn't count, would it?
No, it's a sports game. I mean, so that's motocross.
I mean, maybe
versus-
it counts that as a driving game.
No, but we asked about driving too.
Yeah, we asked about driving games.
No, I
It's-
don't think we did.
We
didn't
did.
ask about driving, did we?
You didn't ask if it was a driving game.
Okay.
Excite Bike's a total sports game.
Yeah, it's a sports game.
It's
I
not
agree.
Excite Bike. Was Excite Bike even in arcades?
In your final 4 questions,
Okay.
you should focus more on other places a Nintendo game could have appeared other than the arcade and before 1990.
Yeah.
I mean, the Game Boy was released in '89. Could it be Tetris?
Yeah, Tetris.
Oh, I didn't think about
But
that.
Nintendo only published it. I mean, is it a puzzle game?
It's not a puzzle game.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say because Atari did the arcade
Yeah.
version of Tetris.
That's a good one.
I played this game and liked it a lot.
Yeah,
I'm giving away too many hints.
is that, no,
I owned this game. I really liked it.
oh my gosh, he owned it.
I mean, the other arcade games are like Bubble Bobble and Contra and stuff like that, but none of those are Nintendo games.
Right, they're not.
But where else?
actually
What?
Nintendo.
I don't even understand Damon's hint unless
Yeah.
it is a 1989 Game Boy game.
What was your hint again? What other places?
What
could it
other?
be?
Well, yeah. Where else could it have appeared other than the NES or?
You guys just got really
arcade?
fixated on arcade games.
We did, yeah, that's true. But we figured that'd be an easy way to narrow it down because
Yeah.
there aren't
Yeah,
all
because
that
there
many
weren't as
Nintendo
many
arcade
games
games
that were on NES as other things.
It may not be as well known for it.
for its
It's arcade.
arcade iteration. Nintendo published. Wow,
I give up.
stretching us out.
Really?
I'm just.
With 3 questions to
we
go,
ask
can I even?
I don't even have anything. Like I'm so like if I'm honing in on something, that's one thing. But I'm like, well,
Blaster Master.
I just give up. I'm just gonna steer the boat right into the rocks
How
How
and
can we narrow
just.
stuff down more?
You guys haven't lost one in a long time.
I know.
This feels like it should be easy.
I just want to get like maybe we should narrow down the era
Hey,
more
hey.
or the platforms more.
Maybe it's. Nah, it's not. But like I think it'd be funny if Damon picked like a pinball table.
Yeah,
well, that would be amazing.
that wouldn't count though. This is video
No,
game
I
20
know.
questions.
Well,
Yeah, but
I would
pull one.
We could play
over
pinball
on
20
us.
questions though.
oh man, I'd be so good at that.
That'd be great.
Okay. Oh, wait a minute. No, that still features a. Oh wait, 1990.
feelings.
1990.
We said before 1990.
Before 1990. Okay.
Should we ask about cheat codes or if it was a Nintendo Power?
Because a
or-
couple of the Super Nintendo games ended up in arcade for a while too. That's what I was wondering. But
Yeah.
that would be. Yeah, that would be out. 'Cause wasn't there a Pilot Wings arcade version for?
No, that wasn't on NES though.
Right.
I'm just trying to think of other lines of questioning we can do. Should we just do like, was it a fantasy game or?
Yeah, I think at this point we know it's not a popular character.
Do you think your character wears a hat?
But human.
Or is there a gun?
We already asked that.
You
we
asked
don't
about
have
There's
that.
no shooting.
There's no
Does your character carry a weapon?
Some, not all the time, not by default.
Not by
Say
default.
that, not by default.
Okay, so that's something. The Ice Climbers always have their hammers, don't they?
They didn't
don't
ever
think there was
publish
ever
any
arcade
of the
version.
like Final Fights or any of that, did they?
There's Mighty Final Fight on NES.
Wait a minute. What was
That's
there?
not
Was
by-
Urban Champion ever in arcades?
No. But Urban Champion, I was already thinking about that. It's a fighting game.
Trying to read me over here.
It's a fun
We're at 18. You have 2 left. 2 questions left.
Should we?
I'm trying to think of the really.
You may not come in there.
No.
Should we ask if it was on another console?
Yeah. Go
No,
ahead.
we already know it was.
No, I mean like what other console would we ask about?
Well, in
Is there
that
anything on
era,
Master
it would
System?
only be the Master System. There's very little crossover.
We don't know how early it was.
Should we ask if your character wears a hat?
Why would we ask that?
Because I've given up. Okay.
Now I think more about your question, Jared. I don't think you ever use a weapon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Somebody else uses a weapon. Okay.
We know you don't drive in it.
Now you don't drive.
What are Damon's favorite games?
Has this game been reissued on Virtual Console?
I don't know.
So we got a buy on that one.
Yeah.
I guess so.
Does your character wear a hat?
No. Character does not. 1 question left.
I was gonna ask if it was on the cover of Nintendo Power. That'd be fun. Track and field.
The fact that
That sounds
you don't use a weapon is a hint.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you use a weapon?
Why wouldn't you use a weapon? Because you're a monster.
You're a pacifist. You're a human. You're a human that doesn't fight.
You're not stuff.
You run. You run away.
You don't need a weapon to fight.
You use mind powers. You use magic.
Oh,
it's Kung Fu.
wait a minute. It's Kung Fu.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Kung Fu.
But we still have one question left.
Yeah. We
Huh?
got this.
Yeah,
Kung Fu.
it's Kung Fu.
I gave you too many hints.
But which is not.
God
That was an
damn it.
IREM game in the arcade.
Yeah.
Nintendo published and developed it on, at least on the NES.
That wasn't
Yeah,
in the
Nintendo
arcade.
was the
a
IREM
different
version.
game.
Kung Fu was in the arcade.
No,
Yeah,
that's
but Kung Fu Master by IREM. Yeah.
That's not the same game, though.
It's based on Spartan X, the Jackie Chan movie, Kung Fu Master, and
But see-
for the arcade and Kung Fu on the NES are actually pretty much the same game.
Are they really?
Yeah, but
I
they're
never
based
thought
on a
that.
Jackie
Kung
Chan.
Fu
It's a
Master is
whole
a different
thing.
game than Kung Fu.
Right. Well, they're called different things, but it was called Spartan
Ooh,
X in
that's
Japan.
tricky. That's
Then they had
real
to change it to
tricky.
Kung
I
Fu
like
in the
it that.
States.
But then I think I remember playing the NES version, at least on like a Play Choice 10, or at
Probably.
least in like maybe
It wasn't a play choice game.
Well, I think what I remember is playing it at like a kiosk at like Walmart, the one where they had the multiple games on
Right.
one system. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I remember.
Yeah, I'm calling
we
this
were on the right
tainted
track.
because IREM made that arcade game, but Nintendo did publish the.
The question though was it in arcades?
Yeah, you're right about that.
The
It's an
answer is
arcade game.
yes.
Yes, that's
Jeez.
fair.
Was it a
Jeez.
Nintendo game?
Yeah,
Yes.
you're
Was it a
right.
Nintendo
You're right.
game
I'm
on
just
the
being
NES?
grumpy.
If we
because
would have
I lost.
asked was it published by Nintendo in the arcades, you would have said no? Or you just didn't know?
I probably would have said.
Ooh,
I'm going to call that one
This is what I was
Damon.
thinking.
it's not a draw. It's a win.
You won.
We won.
No.
Don't take it away
And
from
you
us.
gave us too many hints.
What do you?
out there.
I asked if you're wearing a
Sounded like you
hat.
needed them.
Yeah.
Once it said you're not wearing a hat, you said, "Oh, it must be kung fu."
You should have asked about a headband.
Well, does he
I
wear?
don't think the sequence of event was no hat, it's kung fu.
That's literally the sequence of
The
events.
sequence of
Rewind the
events was Damon
tape.
saying, you don't use weapons, hint, hint, but you still fight.
And you don't wear a
And we just
hat.
pictured a bunch of people doing karate.
I
and
should
we
have
got
asked
it.
if it was a black box game. I was meaning to ask, and I just never
Is
did.
this
That
real?
would've nailed
Is
it
this
down.
for real? Why does the title Kung Fu have an asterisk?
I don't know. Okay, that might have
Right?
to do with the weird Spartan X thing. Again, it was a movie
It's Kung
tie-in.
Fu.
What series is it part of?
This is part of the action series.
Yeah.
Action series.
Not a
we
sports
should have
game.
asked what series of
Not a platformer.
Now we know.
No, that's definitely not a sports game. I think that was just us dropping the ball.
I think it's a sports
Didn't
game.
we-
I
thought
got
we asked about-
hung up on the idea of it being a Nintendo published arcade game, and that was my mistake.
Didn't we ask about it being a fighting game, or did we not?
Nope, never asked.
fighting
Yeah.
Although it's not really
It's
a
not really
fighting
a
game
fighting
by what
No,
we
it's more
consider
of
it to
a,
be.
and it's not a platformer, just like you
It's a
said.
brawler.
Yeah, but it's not single screen.
I
it's
love how you
scrolls.
go back and forth through
Yeah,
the
you start out
Yeah.
walking left,
Yeah.
and then as you go up, you go back and forth.
Yeah, that game was a great. Other than Super Mario Brothers, that was probably the best showpiece for the original Nintendo.
Was it a launch game?
It was a launch game. It was
I
a black
remember I
box
had it
game.
very early.
Yeah,
very early.
That Excite Bike and Mario were really the ones worth owning in that first batch.
I mean, Mario wasn't even. We've talked about it on Scoop
technically
before.
Mario wasn't
Like
that
there
bad.
was a period of time where you could own an NES without Mario Brothers, and that just really blows my mind.
But you can play
Yes.
stack up with your Gyromite.
Safaldi,
Or with your Rob.
Safaldi thinks he's got a date pretty close to nailed down finally in very late '85 that it was available limited here, but they're still looking for that final holy grail piece of hard evidence to prove it.
yeah.
All right, before we go, it's
Whoa,
time.
where'd he go? Where's Damon?
It's time to give away Damie's classic
Damie.
game collection. We talked about this a few weeks ago as I'm moving.
There's
I just
something
don't
about
need.
turkey on the side of that.
Oh,
Made in Turkey.
Yeah.
the back of the Ratchet and Clank box says "kickin' ass." The ass is an @ sign and $2
it's pretty good.
So that's how you know.
Safe.
That's how you know that it's good.
The original Fable, Burnout
Yeah.
Revenge, Shadow of the Colossus, and more are all in here.
Onimusha,
Is there got to be
Disgaea.
Kung Fu in there?
No, Kung
I
Fu's
might
not
have
in
an
it.
extra on my desk I can throw in.
The box you receive will not have Shadow of the Colossus in it because I will steal it before it gets to you.
What are you talking? Don't you own that game? You're gonna
Actually, I
take
don't
it
know.
away from this
I don't own Shadow.
deserving listener,
I will soon.
viewer. I got millions and millions, probably billions of entries, and I read every single one.
Possibly trillions.
But as it's it's the time of year to. I think it's the appropriate time of year to give these games to Matan, M-A-T-A-N. Our fan, his name is spelled M-A-T-A-N. Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing it, but he wrote in and said, "Hello everyone over at GameScoop. I've been a big fan of your show for a while now. Just recently marathoned through 3 months worth of episodes.
Oh, wow.
I had surgery over the summer to help treat a disease I've been suffering from, and I guess I fell behind when it came to keeping up with your show. Anyway, hope this entry isn't too late. If I don't win, I'd just like to say that you guys are all awesome. I especially love when you guys play 20 questions because it's a great way to learn little things you may not have known about certain consoles and games. To everyone over at GameScoop and IGN, I wish you all happy holidays from New York."
Nice.
Thank you, Matan.
Yeah, that was really nice.
Yeah,
His name is really cool. It sounds kind of like a really good Taito arcade game with a guy with a sword, like maybe a Rastan sequel or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, for
Like
sure.
Matan. If I saw that in the arcade, I would pop a quarter into it.
Be
Totally.
like Rygar's buddy.
Yeah, Rygar, Matan. Great.
Carniv's buddy.
Yeah. Chelnov, Atomic Runner Chelnov.
The stipulation.
Yeah, it stands. You still have homework.
Yep.
There's probably 30 games in here, and as you play them over the next year, we just want like a paragraph write-up on each one, paragraph review.
We
on each
want
one.
we want a book report.
Yeah.
A video
Well,
game
very
book,
short
a video game book
paragraph
report.
report.
A theme, handwritten on college ruled paper.
Exactly. Send
Yeah.
us a theme on what you thought about Burnout Revenge and Disgaea.
Just
and
email
lot of
them
work.
to me at gamescoop@ign.com, and we'll
I would
share
send
them.
those games back if I got that assignment.
You don't want to do that.
Screw you, GameScoop.
yeah.
I don't need your conditions.
Hey, where's Shadow of the Colossus?
Matan, I've got your email. I'll be reaching out to you to get your address so I can get these sent out to you.
I think it's a great experiment. I don't know, like I genuinely don't know if you go back and play games that are like 15 years old that you weren't originally exposed to. It's like, is Onimusha still fun? I don't know. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
Someone soon will. We will soon know
Someone
because we're going to
soon
have a handwritten college ruled paper theme about it.
Find out. My friends, that brings us to the end of another year of Game Scoops.
Wow.
What a year it was.
Unbelievable.
Was
I know.
Kung Fu of all things.
Yeah, Kung Fu was a tough end.
So
I like that
disappointed
game.
in myself.
I hope everybody has very safe and happy holiday few weeks. I hope everybody goes out and sees Star Wars and loves it. And then I hope you all will join us again in the new year for more scoops and all the big games of 2016. So thank you all for tuning in and joining us all year long. Thank you, Justin. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, Jared. My name is Damon. This is IGN Game Scoop, and we're out of 2015.